Welcome back to the Network Marketing Cowboy channel, cowboys and cowgirls. We're going to jump right into it this week. When people think about network marketing, they think about compensation plans. They think about bonuses. They think about rank. They think about commissions. But I want to suggest something different. The real currency in this business isn't money, it's integrity. Because without trust, nothing multiplies. And once trust is broken, it's nearly impossible to rebuild. So as we get into this week's talk, for part one, we're like, God cares about scales, not cells. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1. The Lord detests dishonest scales, but accurate weights find favor with him. So in biblical times, scales represented fairness in trade. Everything was weighed, and you had to make sure the person that was doing the weighing actually had the scales being fairness. There was a lot of cheating with dishonest scales. You always just have to remember that. God did not condemn commerce. He actually encouraged commerce. He encouraged people going out there and making a living for themselves. You've gone over a lot of scriptures talking about him encouraging people to go out and make a living. What he does condemn is dishonesty. You always have to make sure you're being honest, being that steward, having the integrity. Because if you're exaggeration, income over promising, and emotional pressure, you're distorting the scales. So the problem isn't selling, it's misrepresentation. So if you're getting into this business, be clear about the effort required. Be honest about timelines. And make sure you never promise what you can't control. So if you're helping coach somebody, don't overpromise of what things is out of your control. So make sure you remember of keeping your promises and what you can deliver. So you can't deliver results for them because it's their individual based results. You can't deliver income for them because it's up to them what they do. But what you can promise is coaching, a system to follow, all that stuff. But make sure you do not promise, because that's where your integrity comes in. And we all need to stay by our integrity. Part 2, why shortcuts destroy long-term wealth. Proverbs chapter 13, verses 11. Dishonest money dwindles away, but whoever gathers money little by little makes it grow. Kind of like what we talked about last week. Hype creates quick spikes, and it also creates quick collapses, like we was talking about the peaks and valleys last week. So make sure you're not creating, there's a good hype and there's a bad hype. Make sure you're using it correctly. Yes, we want to get people engaged, get them in there, but make sure you're not doing that over-promising. Remember, pressure tactics may create short-term rank, but like we talked about last week, creates long-term turnover, burnout, all this stuff, because we're pressuring them in instead of, they need to grow too. You need to make sure you're coaching and mentoring them better in the correct way. So they're not feeling like they're being pressured, that they're growing at the speed that they're able to grow. Remember, sustainable growth requires slow credibility. If you don't have the credibility, they're not going to really follow you. But the slow credibility, slow growth, you're going to be able to have that credibility and making sure that you're proven that you're doing this correctly. Integrity feels slower, but it can compound quicker because you're not having that bad reputation. You're not having the stigma of you pressuring people. Fast growth built on exaggeration always costs more than later. So we'll always remember that. Part 3, transparency builds confidence. 2 Corinthians chapter 8, verses 21. For we aim at what is honorable, not only in the Lord's sight, but also in the sight of man. Now, this is a great way of What are you aiming for? What's honorable, both in the sight of God and in the sight of man? It's not either or. You need to do both. So kingdom builders think beyond the moment that they're in. They're looking long term. They're looking like, how can we help and grow these people? Not just in the first few months, but over their kingdom, their legacy. How can we help them grow long term? And remember, transparency reduces fear and builds the stability. If you're being transparent with them, the amount of time and work that they have to put into network marketing, well, you're setting them up for success. The ones that come into you and say, hey, you can hurry and be at this spot by this time, they're probably, by just doing this, they're probably not being truly transparent to you. Now, some people have always had a network of network marketers, and they can build and rank up quickly because they've done this groundwork before. But if this is your first time in network marketing, it's going to takes a little bit of time to build up what we was talking about, the trust. Reduce the people of fear if they haven't ever been in network marketing because they've heard all these stories. It's just a scam, but it's not. So build on transparency, because it builds that stability to you. Like we was talking about, be upfront about effort, about rejections. Everybody's going to have rejections. The learning curves. You're going to have inconsistency seasons. You're going to have your peaks and valleys still. But people respect clarity more than hype. So honesty filters out the wrong people and attracts the right ones. And we want to make sure we're attracting our tribe, our kingdom, that is aligned in your vision, in your values, because that's who you're going to steward and connect with on a deeper level than just trying to bring in a bunch of people that might not align with your vision. So overall, they have to have their vision, but that vision almost has to fit in your vision of what you're wanting to do. And hopefully both visions are similarly aligned of helping and being stewards of people of doing this stuff, of becoming financially free, of having the family time. All this stuff that we talk about for network marketing, it can be done. It's just, you need to make sure you're attracting the right people and being around the right people that are wanting to grow instead of forcing somebody to do this. So part 4, your reputation is your real asset. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 1. A good name is better than a fine perfume. Just think about that. Your name and what it stands for is truly all you have that people are going to remember. Compensation plans change. Companies evolve. Markets shift. But your name stays. And what is your name going to mean to people when that name is said? Does it mean you have a strong reputation? Who knows? It's up to you. But if you have a strong reputation, that allows you to pivot and lead for decades. Commission pays you once. Character pays you forever. Make sure you're thinking long term. Build something your children won't have to explain away. Build something your church won't be embarrassed by. Build something you can defend calmly, that you're not you're embarrassed by saying what you do, because you have that character behind you. You're not looking at trying to defend of what you're doing. Hey, I help people become entrepreneurs through network marketing and real estate investing so they can become financially free. I'm not afraid to say that. You shouldn't be either. This is just one system, but I know people can be successful at it. The right people will be successful at it, and that's who I want to work with. So make sure you're always thinking about your reputation of what you're standing for, what you're meaningful, because that's going to carry you on. That's going to be your legacy. So part 5, what integrity looks like in daily action. So Colossians chapter 3, verses 23. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord. So think about that. Make sure you're putting the same dedication in of when you're studying your Bible and to doing what you're doing in your work. Integrity in network marketing means no inflated income claims. Just say, this is how you do it. You're not telling them how fast they can get there. They're not guaranteed anything like this. This is the path how you can do it. This is what you make when you do all this stuff. But it's all up to you. You can't guarantee them an income. You can't guarantee how fast they get there. No urgency, manipulation. So don't fall into that manipulation type of urgency. Just no urgency, just grow. Go at the pace that you feel comfortable. Some people might feel really comfortable and take off really quick. Some people might not need to, or you might need to coach them, mentor them, get them over their fear of rejection. And don't fake it till you make it, lifestyle pressure. Don't try to be more successful than you are online. It doesn't work. And remember, no pressuring people beyond their season. Wherever they're at, they're growing. As long as they're moving forward, but they're going to have some really engagement times, some disengagement times. Be there for them. Be there to help coach them along the way. And clear expectations for work and growth. Make sure they understand of what is needed to do this work. Don't say you're going to be able to talk to 5 people and you're going to be successful, because you're going to have those 5 people that are going to be rejecting you. They're not going to be able to do anything. Set clear expectations. That does take work. And sometimes the growth comes in spurts and sometimes it's very slow, but that's all right. Integrity also means following through with what you said you will do. Remember that. You need to follow through on what you said you will do, whatever promises you make. Showing up consistently. Owning your mistakes publicly. Nobody's perfect, but make sure you are letting them know that, hey, I made this mistake. This is what I learned from it. There's nothing wrong with that. Remember, integrity is quiet, but it also echoes. Wrapping this up, build what lasts. In the end, the market always corrects hype, but it rewards consistency and integrity. If you want to build network marketing the right way, start right here. Guard your reputation, guard your words, guard your motives, because trust compounds faster than commissions ever could. So comment below, what does integrity mean to you in business? Please let me know. And in the next episode, we're going to talk about why most people fail in network marketing, and it's not the model. Remember, cowboys and cowgirls, build slow enough to last, build clean enough to sleep at night. That's Kingdom Network Marketing. God bless you. I'll see you next week.